project. So in this short video, I'll be talking about the official character banners that are releasing for Phase 1 of version 2.6, which will be dropping in 2 days, or based on my time zone as of publishing this video. So we already know that we're getting Kamisato Ayato, a 5-star Hydro Sword user, and we will be getting Venti, the first ever character release in 1.0, and he reran once before in 1.4 in Windbloom Festival last year, and now he's coming back in 2.6 for his second rerun. So it's been a while, of course. And of course, we know he's an Animo Bow user, 5-star as well. So let's start with, I guess we'll start with Ayato. Sorry, let's start with Venti actually, because, yeah, since we talked about that first. Okay, so Venti, he is a very, interesting character because many people were wanting him, and obviously I do have him, but they wanted him and they waited for him, etc. And then all this time passed. So I recently did do a review of him. So do check that out as well for when I was, talking about potential reruns. So of course we already knew that he would be likely one of the reruns, but we weren't sure if it was 2.6 or 2.7. But anyway, he's officially confirmed for 2.6 now. So long story short, I'll just keep this brief, of course. I don't want to repeat myself too much. I don't think that he's a must-pull character. I want to just get right into that. I said that at the end of that review video as well. And I do know that many people are waiting for him, and I do know that there will be future content where he will still be viable and useful because the game can't really, in my opinion, the game's not going to try to power creep an Archon or like try to make them, useless or replaced, but they will still have content that is useful for him. And I will say he is still very useful in the Abyss for basically up to floor 11. Okay, so, he's still very useful, and even in the recent Hyakunin Iki event, he makes it very easy to get lots of score for that and get it done. So, yeah, he still has a lot of usage, so I'm not going to say that he's like a must-skip, but I will say he's not a must-pull, is what I'm saying. So, pull him if you want him for your collection, or you're missing a crowd control Animo character, or if you really were waiting for him all this time, then yes, definitely pull for him. Definitely nothing against him. I don't hate him or anything, but he's not a must-pull character for most content like in the late game, but definitely in the early and mid game, and even maybe the early part of your late game, he's still very useful. So he is still very useful overall, though. So, but I would just say he's just no longer as meta anymore because characters like Kazuha have come around, and they've kind of stolen the spotlight from him. So yeah, just keep that in mind. I'll leave it short there. We're going to use Xingqiu as a placeholder for Ayato. Ayato is definitely not a must-pull character yet. I want to say that with a caveat here, with an asterisk, big asterisk. We don't know what he's really like yet. So we can't really say, but I don't want to leave it like on a limb here, but I will be polling him, just so we're clear. I do have a guarantee for those of you who have been following me, and I will be polling him, not on day one because I don't have enough wishes saved, for just to make sure that I get him past pity of 75. So I'm aiming for maybe another 5 to 10 wishes saved, then I should be able to get up to like wish 80, pity 80, I would think, and then I should be able to guarantee myself that. I want to make sure that I get it all done on the stream so that I don't, spend money or anything like that just unnecessarily, right? And just to make the stream very like, interesting as complete, I mean, and not to span it over multiple. So first of all, I will be getting him because I have a guarantee, and I do want to try him out, and I love hack and slash games play style. I love, the fact that he's a sword user. I love sword users and polearm users the most, as anyone who knows if you guys follow me. I like their gameplay the most. Catalyst is like Catalyst and Claymore are like in the middle for me, and Bow is like the bottom tier for me. Unless they're like Child, for example, who is like a different kind of a Bow user where he changes his stance and all that stuff, right? But that's a different story. So speaking of Child, I did mention this too in my pre-release pre-release analysis video of Ayato. Because I do use Child in the Abyss, and I did, of course, invest in him and build him up already, I don't think I'm replacing Child with Ayato. I'm not going to. And for that same reason, I do use Ayaka in the Abyss. Not every time, but in some parts of the later floors, like floor 12, basically. So I will not, and I have her built as well. I rebuilt her recently. But I do not plan to replace her with Ayato either. So I still plan to use her for her usage, of course, right? So I refilled her as in lightly. I kind of just changed some of her things around, so I won't go into too much detail there, but I will do an updated review video of her. So stay tuned for that in the future. Of course, I will definitely be doing review video of Ayato once I have him built up to a level that's presentable, let's say. Obviously, there will be bigger streamers out there who will have awesome Ayatos and whatnot, but that's not me. I don't have the resources to do that, and I don't plan to go hard and heavy on that. I just plan to get one copy of him, you know? Yeah, so then having said that, back to Ayato, and just using Xingqiu as a placeholder here, is he a must-pull character? I don't think he will be, but he is a sub DPS role. I think that's pretty much clear now, and or a DPS role can be both. And I feel that if you don't like Child or don't have him and don't have a Hydro sub DPS character that's built up, or even Cryo one or whatnot, pretend that, or if you were picking between Ayaka and Ayato, then maybe you want to wait first and see what the other bigger streamers do and what they decide. Ayaka is hands down very useful, so I would just say for sure that's a guarantee because I have her and I know that she's useful. But I also pair her up with a Tartaglia Child as well, right? But I don't know. I'm sure she'll pair up really well with Ayato too. But I don't know. For those of you who are free to play or early game, you may not have the resources saved to get both characters. So if you had to pick one, I can tell you from experience that Ayaka is very useful right now. And I see that she will still be useful going forward. But is Ayato going to be as useful? I don't know. But if you don't have like say a Child, or you don't care for Child's gameplay, and you don't have other Hydro characters built up, or you don't care for that, and you want one, then maybe yes, then go for Ayato. I have nothing against that, right? So I will just put that with an asterisk. Is he a must-pull character? Not necessarily, but I will just leave that with that. Moving along now, because I'll keep it kind of short. So just to summarize, while I'm quickly swapping out the characters, just to summarize, I want to say that Venti is not a must-pull character, and that Ayato can be a must-pull character. Let's leave it like that, okay? So I'm going to quickly swap out a few of the characters here just so that they're on the screen, so it's easier for me. I'm going to bring in Sucrose, Yunjin, and Shangling. They have been confirmed that they are the next group of the 4-star characters that will be on the banner, so I'm just going to quickly put them into the team so that they're on the screen. So I'm not going to go into all their builds and all that. I will be doing a Sucrose review video coming soon, so do stay tuned for that. I've actually never done one for her. I previously did a Shangling video for her way back, and I rebuilt her with Emblem of Severed Fate. Do check out that video. It is a bit older, but it's still valid because I haven't changed her build since that. And I previously did do a Yunjin review video as well, but I made, because she's on this banner, and I will be polling for Kamisato Ayato, because I don't have constellations for her. So if I can get her constellations up, I will. I think I have 2 actually, but I don't have her at C6. So if I get her to C6 for polling for Kamisato Ayato, then I will do probably an updated review video for her. Right? And maybe I might change some of her builds around and all that stuff, but we'll just do an updated then. But anyway, let's just go through them really quickly here. So Sucrose, if you're early game, maybe mid game, she's still very useful, and she's very user-friendly and free-to-play friendly. She has been on lots of banners and reruns already, so you should have copies of her. But if not, then this is your chance, because she'll be on both of these banners, right? She's definitely a good support and battery for other characters, and she could do some things that Venti can do, and she can do some things that Kazuha can do. But of course, those two being 5-star characters do it better, that's all, right? So I would just say she's still a very good character to build out, and again, stay tuned for their full review of her. So I think that's okay. Shangling is, you get her for free from completing Abyss level 3 in the storyline in the early game. She is someone that you should build as early as possible and build up and try to get constellations for. She is amazing. I didn't realize her potential until maybe the late game, when people kept talking about the national team and all that stuff. Of course, that's nothing new anymore, but back then I didn't care about team comps so much. I was just like, hack and slashing and just making, just doing that and going through. But then obviously when I got stuck at the Abyss and couldn't get 36 stars and could only get stuck at 33 to 35 stars, then I started researching, and then people were like, no, you have to build her up, and et cetera, et cetera. So that's what I've been doing, and yeah, she has not disappointed me at all. So I recommend to you, early and mid-game players or new to the game players, build up your Shangling as much as possible, and she is amazing. Okay, lastly, Yunjin, she's a newer character, and it's great that they're already, bringing her back for a rerun so soon, which is amazing. Now, she is Geo. So Geo is, the issue is there are no elemental reactions that really go well with Geo. However, she would be good for buffing your other Geo characters, and she has a normal attack buff, which could be good for characters that are, such as Yoimiya, which should be scheduled for a future rerun coming at some point, right? Because she hasn't rerun yet, and everyone else has already. I will be releasing a version 2.7 rerun predictions banner video at some point in the future as well, but I want to wait till 2.6 officially launches first, and then we talk about 2.7. I don't want to like, get ahead myself here, but it's pretty obvious who those characters are going to be, obviously, because people have been waiting for certain characters, and I've already done multiple review videos of certain characters that didn't get rerun review videos or rerun prediction videos for the last few patches, and those characters have just been pushed forward, so we already know which characters are coming, but we'll stay tuned for that, right? But Yunjin, again, back to her, she's very useful in like a mono or a multi-geo character team composition, of course, and again, she would support like normal attack characters, including, I guess you could say, Yoimiya, who else is normal attack focused. Like, you could really say, like, technically, if you're like any of your DPS characters, really, because DPS characters you're meant to use their normal attack, like Ito, if you have him, right? But also he's Geo, right? Even like Jean, like she's an amazing sub DPS character, right? And healer too, right? So she could totally be like I slash with her all the time, like in the Abyss, as you guys see. So yeah, and then Eula, like of course Raiden Shogun, if you guys got her recently, right? Yeah, so normal attacks is her thing, right? So I would just say like she's gonna be a great support character, but because she is Geo, there is some niche aspect there, and there is some limited usage there, but she's still a good character overall. And if you're like me and you want to collect her constellations, and if you're going to go for either Ayato or Venti anyway, then hopefully good luck to you, and hopefully you guys can get at least one copy of her or more copies of her, right? And definitely for Xiangling and Sucrose as well, because they're all really good. So I would just say the 4-star characters on this upcoming banner set are going to be awesome. Overall, great supports. And yeah, so hopefully you guys get what you want early and you don't waste too many wishes or spend too much money, or at least stay within your budget, let's say. Hopefully this summarizes it for everyone, and at least those are my thoughts. Tell me what you guys think. Leave them in the comments below, and feel free to ask me questions as well. Check out my other videos. I did a Kamisato Ayato pre-release analysis. I did his weapon options discussion right before this, and right after this I'll be talking about the weapon banner in some detail as well. So do check that out, and stay tuned for the future review videos for Sucrose, and maybe an updated one for Yunjin if I do get her constellations. I will be doing a polling video as well at some point later in the week for Kamisato Ayato once I have enough wishes saved from the daily commissions. And do check out my older Xiangling review video if you're interested. It is still valid. So yeah, check those out and stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.